Right, so I'm going to chuck you these two.
Hey everyone, Mike from Objective Secured. We are live for the first tournament that we're hosting for the 2020 9th edition season. I'm here in Western Australia. We've got 8 players in the room today. These are our patrons group for Objective Secured. I've got a top camera mounted just off to my side here that you're going to be able to see the game. We've got game 1 is Imperial Knights versus Tau. We're actually very fortunate with this game because it is going to be quite a cool looking game. So we've got 4. Are they House Terran Knights? What house are you using? Crust. 4 Crust. So it looks like we've got an errant, a pair of Crusaders, and or is it 3 Crusaders? No, it's 2 Crusaders. Yeah, 2 Crusaders, 1 Warden, 1 errant. And then the only thing you need to know about the Tau army is it has an Avara and a Taunar. The rest of it's gravy. So we're going to flick to the camera right now and you can check it out.
Okay, so that's that.
Might have a little wording issue.
That's that. So take it hold.
Why?
I think I've done it right.
All right, so
Until you deploy that sort of stuff.
30 inches.
Cool.
we're obviously going to have some background noise here today as well because we are in not a small room, but it's a cozy room. And to make it easy on me, because I'm going to be TOing the event as well, I'm going to have it's an omnidirectional mic, so once the game's underway, I'll actually put it on the table so you guys can hear the guys talking out line of sight and whatnot. Mission number 1 is Retrieval Mission, which is page 38 and 39 of the new GT Tournament Book 2020. So they are playing the old hammer and anvil deployment. So that actually works pretty well. The camera's catching nearly all of the table. It's only missing a tiny bit off the top and bottom of your screen, which is good. As you can see, the 5 objectives don't. I think you guys need to redo those objectives. Yeah.
And then 20. You need to go.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, it's not. It's like this is. That's all good, Marcus. That's.
Yeah.
Alright, so mission 1 is 20 inches.
These ones here.
Maybe
So
20 inches.
no, it's 10 inches from the. 10 inches.
Yeah, it'll be 20 inches from the center, and then another 10. So it's actually 30 inches from the center or 10 inches from the edge.
This one is 10 inches from the edges.
Alright.
How does it work now?
So make sure the center of it hits the 10, and then yep. And then move that terrain if need be, so that you.
Yeah, so essentially it's an 18-inch deployment zone.
Yeah.
There we go.
Cool.
And then 12, and then
So the other ones are coming 10 inches on
So now
from each side, and 8 inches in from the center.
I'm not sure how to actually start.
So now it's
No. So bring them on 10 inches,
like 1 by 1.
Yeah.
So I think we roll for.
and then move it 8 inches to the left and 8 inches to the right, respectively.
And
10
then
inches is there.
10.
But I'm just wondering, determine the mission,
yeah.
read mission briefing, place objection markers, create the battlefield.
Muster on.
Select secondary objectives,
Oh, yeah.
determine attacker and defender.
Yeah. Sorry, we've got to select secondaries before we do anything else. Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
I don't know.
Is there a mission-specific secondary for this one?
There is. All missions have a mission-specific secondary. For those playing along at home, the mission is end game objective. At the start of the battle, add up the number of units in your army. This is your army's strength. If a unit splits to form 2 or more individual units, then immediately increase your army's strength. And if a unit merges, decrease your army's strength. At the end of the battle, add up how many units from your army are left on the battlefield, including all units embarked within transports, but excluding any units that have been added to your army during the battle. If the total is 75% or more of your army's strength still on the battlefield, score 15 points. If it's less than 75 but more than 50, it's 10 points. And if it's less than 50 but more than 25, it's 5 points.
So don't die.
Yeah, it's the objective is literally to survive.
Nah.
It's here if you want to have a read, guys.
That is. Sounds good.
Yeah, you're playing down the table.
Okay. So definitely gonna get that.
This one?
Okay.
That a little bit.
How many characters you got?
One. Oh, two.
TO's prerogative to try and balance the board a little bit. I don't want that
Two
mass
characters
toolbox
again.
in the centre to be too horrid. I do have to still make sure that the knights can move around, so.
Okay, boom, boom. That one,
You don't have any. Oh, you've got one vehicle?
Yeah, just the tank.
yeah, I'll take that and that. And
Oh.
hey, here he is.
So you've got. Is this
No,
a unit?
no,
They're
cool.
not. They're not.
Sweet.
So there's a shield captain.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find set.
Yeah.
One's a shield captain.
Yeah, that's a shield captain.
Turns,
And
second
then,
defender.
the 3 of them are a unit.
And then they're just
Cool.
normal bolty boys.
So
Oh, they're axe
attacker doesn't get
alarm.
so
Oh, yeah.
deployment,
Yeah, hurricane
defender
bolts was possible.
does. I
There's no,
will
like,
go.
The crazy like melts and everything.
So runes, so runes. If you're in it, you can be shot into it, but if you're not in it, so this is your one. Isn't it? So there's one. Deployments quickly.
So you're right here.
Deployment is.
It is. There are 12 miles in center, isn't it?
Yep. So from there. I will take this one. So this is, yeah, so you're attacker, I'm defender.
There we go, done.
Yeah.
How would you say?
So defender gets to deploy first.
You got your secondaries?
The whole army, just one.
One, and so
Just 1 to 1?
Yeah, 1 to 1.
Alright.
Just going to pop that there for you guys so that everyone can hear your dulcet tones while we
Cool.
play.
Lovely.
Okay, so I will go like this first.
Alright, I think I got it.
I did 3, sorry, because I hate the racing.
Actually, I just realised that it's the same.
Okay, so it's 12 in the centre.
I've got one side.
It's over here. Who's got my copy? I think he's got my copy. Sorry. No, that's my copy there.
No, I know the ones I'm making.
Okay,
Are you ready?
You got 3 characters?
Alright, I think I'm ready.
I'll take it. My breaker.
so stealth drones, stealths will go here. Go here.
Whatever that one's called.
Yep.
And raise the dice.
Squad of 3. Yeah, it's 3 and 2 shield drones. So your turn.
Beautiful. All right.
Yeah.
I'll do my first Crusader.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's one after. That's more safety for it. Do they pick one from each?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Done.
Yeah,
Your turn.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Oh, no, you only pick 3.
I realised Linebreaker's from.
Linebreaker's very good.
so pretty much, yeah, so 2 Talonars, I've got 2 squads of stealth suits and
Like
these
for me,
guys.
piece
Buffer commander.
Oh, what's this?
Yeah.
So,
What do you, maybe that would be.
You just need
he's
two.
there to buff the Talnar or the Avara.
You
Okay,
just need 2 units.
so, these guys will go over here. They're behind it, but not in it.
Yep.
Do you want to handle it?
That's right.
No.
I thought about it, I was like, we won't want that. Alright, you can write down the way then.
There'll be 40 between the 2 objective markers. Sure.
I'm going to go. No, I'm going to go.
Do you have anything we always go to channel or you put it out here?
Because the point guard.
Yep,
Oh,
you're next one.
that's the
Do you deep striking any of your suits? Everything's starting on the board.
Oh, so you
Oh, so that's one thing I did forget. I will be deep striking 1 set.
I just wanted to. Yep.
So I'll put them there so they can get rid of that. So used to just go during it, you have to look at the start.
Yep. No, that's not. You're right. That's okay. Warden will go.
I think you get a bonus if you're in war.
The 20%. This is because we're.
Range
I have a
attack.
feeling you get a bonus. Like you have to be in 3, but if
Okay,
you're
for
in
me,
4, then you get a bonus.
Is that 12-inch deployment?
That's what I'm just checking there. Is it back of it? Oh, that's pretty much about there.
That's fine. Yep.
Yep. Cool. That's me. Done.
So just so CP, just so you know.
Yep.
Oh, we're not bad again.
Alternate.
Footprint for this.
Oh, that's the hard part about that. I can always see you.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
That's me. That's just more like.
Oh, it's small guys.
The first unit I'm going to deploy is my Venusarii.
I've only got he's got Terrifier, which is the change with Terrifier, which is the.
That is how you determine what footprint is. Yeah, just literally draw a line between the 2 edges.
So can you work that, for example, on everything?
Same with this
Well, the
one.
relic,
Yeah.
which is.
Or
quite
if
possible.
you look at the front of this.
Firewall, transfer fire.
Once they're on the footprint, it's if they are on the footprint, yes, you draw line of sight exactly as the model is shown. If they're behind it, but they're not on it, then it's obscuring, and then you can't see the
One
side.
question, sorry.
That's good. No questions.
They just
They're on the
forward the
terrain.
button.
Yes.
Yeah.
If they're on the terrain, they ignore the blocks, correct? If there's actually a window.
Oh no, so this is true line of sight. There's a window. There is a window.
There's no magic box.
I mean, no, so it's not magic boxes if you were out of line of sight, if there was, you could.
Only way to magic box now is if you're not on the footprint.
Oh, you roll.
Yeah, while you're in the terrain, you can be targeted as long as you don't draw a line of sight, blah, blah, blah. If you're behind it, and I have seen terrain that's obscuring, it doesn't matter what it looks like, as long as it's 5 minutes time obscuring, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
My Andrew's going to be great. Your turn.
Alright.
Okay, my.
Should we swing to warlords on this one?
Say again, mate?
The warlords this one?
Yeah, with the red. Oh no, that one there with the red stripe.
Footprint of a building is.
Those
Those are all off minutes, so it'll be
Alright, cool. That's deployed. These guys.
Backslide is going to be.
Sorry,
Cool. These two pieces.
chooses
These are for the industrial terrain.
It's gonna get the piece made up.
Undeployed.
So
Alright, let's do it, eh?
treated as a statue.
Yeah, we'll say
The
yes.
rest of it should be straightforward.
Yep.
I have no idea the industrial.
Okay, so
That's what he
Those
does.
are setting up their remaining units.
Shall we fight?
Fight.
Alright, so I rolled. Oh yeah, good luck. Right, so going first, hopefully. I rolled a 1. Fine, would you like to go first and second?
Yeah, I'll go first, please, mate.
Cool, alright, go for it. What are your first and secondaries?
Okay.
Reachable, dense, and defensible.
Oh, score sheet.
Back in the day, yeah, I declare them. This is a deep strike.
Are you happy to fill that out, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
So players setting up their remaining units one time, starting with defender.
So yeah, so
players normally must be
the
stable to
crates
the
and
point
the crates and the pipes are pipes. So
Before one player finishes
Yeah.
setting up
Questions
units,
to try and make them grab points.
remainder.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're shaking
They've
the
got pipes. Just like you actually barricades and tank traps.
Warlords,
Jobs.
players,
Um, So specifically,
So
literally,
there's no reason to play exactly. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, because I thought you don't automatically get it. You still have to roll. And there's no season. So
Secondaries are paid 8.
I would just really defend it because
actually no, that's true. Barricades built up as well because they were actually set up as a little.
Cool.
I did have to move some stuff around.
Yeah, so while we stand right,
Treat those as all
so my
barricades.
Ibarra, my suit commander, is facing
Oh yeah, they get points first survival, yeah.
Those little tank trackers are barricades.
Okay, and what are your ones?
Okay, so I've got grind them down, which is 3 VPs at the end of each battle rounds. Got more units than you. Engage on all fronts, which is I get points for each area. And then bring it down, which is points for mobs, points for wounds.
when we have first time discussed, so 60.
Okay, so
Are you an 8 star?
Gareth.
So,
G-A-R-E-C-H. So yeah, on Housecrest, they're pledged to get a 1 win back. You played them before? I get 1 win back at the start of each turn. Yep. Thing. Do you want to look at battle lists? Or just as we go. You happy? Okay. I haven't played them in a while, so I'll be a bit slow.
Crowds get 1 wound a turn.
One back with the third turn. It's got Iron Bulwark, which is a 4+ vulnerable against shooting. He's got. I paid for obviously both the Exalted Court and the heirlooms as well. So the Warlord's got the Ender's Fury, which is additional 2 shots to his Gatling cannon.
Every 6s?
Every 6s, yep. And this is the other Crusader here. He's got the headsman mark.
Yep.
So just increases the weapons damage for titanium units like old man.
Yeah.
And he's also got the Warlord traits First Night as well, which is just reroll hits, reroll ones, reroll hit rolls of 1. Okay, so I'm just gonna 12, and I'm just gonna move them up into that. Do you mind moving him
12 inches?
just roughly so he's kind of like
Holding?
there. Yeah, just kind of
Like that?
yeah, about there. That's good. This is tight here, isn't it?
Whoa, not a shock valve.
So this is going to have 10 witches in it. The ones with +1 stress.
That's adorable.
So that.
+1 to attack on charge, it's called Strife. He's got a blast pistol just because fuck you.
Okay, movement.
So the one model is the blast pistol, the one with +1 stress.
That's the song me.
So I can't see them. Can I shoot at your drones?
Okay, I will say,
You are on
because this is the edge, so
Yep.
that's technically will be. Mike can clarify this,
So
because as you said, this is from
So I
here
want
to
to
here,
shoot.
So what you would do?
because that's technically a wall.
No. You measure at the ground floor. That's why I deliberately put the gravitate measure. That's what I was explaining earlier, Marcus. You measure at ground floor, so you're not in the terrain there.
Yeah, so I'm not. Yeah, I'm
So
not sure if you're shooting this way.
Yeah. So because that's the edge of the footprint there.
Yeah,
Yes,
cool.
you can see
That's why I was
the.
just wondering if that counts or not. That,
No,
yeah, go for
it's
it.
actually at ground floor.
Yeah, go for it.
Alright, that's good. Okay.
You're telling the front?
Not advancing anything, so I'm just going to go into my shooting. This guy here. Okay, I'll start off with my Gatling, which is 12 into your shield drones.
Yep.
4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
Well,
Okay. Range 36, so we know we're going to be in. It's only 20 Only 23 inches, so we're in range. 3's to hit. Those are 6s, just in case you.
Yeah, I can tell that. Yeah.
I can re-roll ones. Or hit rolls. I can re-roll one hit.
Reroll ones of hits. Is that correct?
It's just re-roll hit rolls of 1.
Yeah, happy with that.
All right. So just 1 miss.
Yeah, cool. And then you
And just 3s again.
I mean, the Nelsons are going to last for 2 years.
That was it.
Yep.
So
That's going to have pathetic outcome.
sounds out as well. So happy using those? Yep.
Yep. Cool.
Strength
6, 2 damage each.
Yeah, mine is big invulnerable, so it doesn't matter about the AP, does it? So
Are you excited for the new little?
Okay, so boom. So I'll use these ones first. So for this dice here, 5 limbos. Okay, he's dead.
Nah, I wasn't going to do my
This one here.
Nah, I feel what they did with every other monster
dead.
that grows up, because he sort of just didn't change much.
Next one.
He got rid of that silly, stupid little.
that's a 1.
He got
Cool.
bigger.
Dead.
It's more like broken. Just realised there's new ones.
He's dead.
The way I
And
describe
last one. He lives.
Cool.
Last turn.
Got 5 last
He did. Cool. So yeah, this one's dead.
Yeah, that's what I feel better about spells. I like this. No spells more than 5.
I know.
Like,
It
it
means
doesn't change
it means I can't run 2 temples.
Oh no, half my drones are gone.
So was that 5 drones total? I was just going to keep a tally for the.
Yeah, go for
Yeah. You only have to be within 2
Cool.
rounds.
Rapid fire battle cannon.
it. Okay, question I got for you. Just to clarify. So you've got to declare all your weapons first.
Oh, and then do the text. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, let it. Well,
Yeah, the next one. Just the
What
next
you
one.
meant to do is.
Oh, declare all your weapons.
So you basically check targets, range line of sight, and allocate all weapons before you resolve anything.
Yeah.
And that because it means you don't get the prior knowledge of knowing whether
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
All right. So I can skip if you want it. I'm happy.
Because it's meant to be a learning day, I would prefer that now that you know that. Obviously, if it happens again, I would
then
say
it's a
no,
stop.
you miss it.
Yeah.
But I would highly encourage that
Choose your targets.
we look over it now and let you finish shooting.
Okay.
So like with that one there, so if you look now, you can only technically see 2 more drones.
2. All right. So I'm happy with the 2. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. 2d6. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. 2d6 shots.
Yeah.
Roll the dice.
8.
Nice.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Jordan, have you got an army list?
3.
Take notes.
You're rolling one.
Send it to me on Facebook and I'll upload it.
3 6s in a row, you're not getting those
Can you do
dice.
that?
And then with strength 8. So these 2.
Yes. 2s.
If it's easier for me to do it,
So
just
2 misses.
Yep.
The rest are all yours, man.
Yep. Cool. Alright, so 3 himbos for these little guys.
Right. I'm promised getting dice from you.
Okay.
I'm using your 6s in a row.
Okay, so D3 damage each.
that's my boy.
So first one, roll dice for the first one.
You need to leave these. Jenny won't roll 4
So 3 damage first, so 3 damage.
Um,
Okay, so 1 dice,
Yep.
next dice,
Off the footprint.
1 damage, 1 pain, he dies, both are dead.
Okay. Now I'll skip out on my missile launcher because obviously I'm not
Yep.
gonna. Okay, cool.
Happy with that?
Alrighty, date.
Wait, what are my objectives again?
Now
So,
shooting through.
shooting through, like, you can shoot him,
Yep.
and you can shoot him.
Okay.
You can't see it.
Obviously, cancel the drones because it's on the bottom level.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty much straight walk through. Now with the drones, do they pretty much
They
look
bounce,
after
Yeah.
anyone you want to? Okay.
they're within 3. But you can't shoot the character because they're behind those big guys and that sort of stuff. So you choose which one you want to
Both
shoot.
toughness 8.
So he's toughness 7, toughness 8.
Okay. Okay. I'll allocate all shots into old mate here.
Yeah, he has 4. Cool.
Yep. Cool. All right. So Gatling. he's my warlord.
Like it's double down the characters. Actually, no, more than that.
1, 2, 3.
So with my warlord,
4, 5, 6,
oh, sorry, that's the warlord. Oh yeah, it's the warlord. He's got the endless fury, which is 14 shots with the
Any sixes an extra hit.
Yep, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14.
Okay, and that's a battalion and a patrol?
Okay, threes again, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah, still threes. No reroll ones because he
Cash just get
misses.
And also let me know when you're using any stratagems. So I get to roll 6 for I get a CP.
Oh, wicked. Alright.
So no sixes?
I didn't check. Don't worry, I'll forget it some.
It's all good.
So it's a first game, so we'll let it aside.
Remember next then.
Yes, strength at 7, so 3.
So which gun is this, sorry?
This is the Gatling cannon.
So against him,
Yep.
strength 6,
Yep.
so needing 5.
So these 5s. Okay, so 1,
So 4.
2, 3, 4.
Right, I'm going to try my dice.
Yeah.
No problem with Harvey. And that was against this guy, correct?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Okay, and that's... Yeah. So it takes 2 damage.
Yep.
You get 4 Bimbo.
Mad not
So 14 goes to 12.
See if I get some melters into some shit.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, rapid fire battle cannon, 2 to 6 shots.
7.
2,
That's what I'm saying.
7.
Everything in Indomitus perfectly.
How's that
I don't have a chapter master.
Five.
I didn't tell you the.
Now we got
so the
3.
litanies on my.
All wound.
Or wound.
4.
Okay.
No, I'm taking one. Sorry. Casaurus plus
So you've still got him shoot, him shoot.
So yeah, so he's thermal lance, and he's obviously just the Gatling cannon plus the missile pods on top as well.
Okay, and that was 3 of them, correct?
4.
4? Yeah, I had 4 dice, yeah. Okay, I will. Yeah, I have to take those in. So
Yep. So 2d3 damage.
Yep. So that's not 3.
1, 2, 3. Sorry, 3 damage. Sorry. Yeah.
9.
To allow that,
It wasn't.
you have to burn one of those dice.
Because they're the only like things in there. I was like, they get like
I won't use it
double shot if they shoot at the same thing.
Well, it doesn't really matter.
I'll spot the bloody heavy stubbers.
Well, yeah, but you said everything.
Yeah. Oh, this one here. So don't worry. Yeah. So so I'll do the Icarus missile pod, heavy d6. 1 shot. 3s.
Mechanicals pay.
Hits. Strength. 3s again. Cool.
Okay, so that's d6 damage, correct?
2.
2 damage?
Yep. Strength 5. 1 minus 1.
Oh, strength 5 is it?
Yeah.
What was the wound? Oh, it was a 5.
5. Yeah. So and 2 damage.
How much damage? And then?
Negative 1. 2 damage.
2 damage, alright, so it's a 3 up then?
I don't know, how does it actually
Yeah, passes.
Beautiful.
Right.
Alright, cool. And then it's the heavy stubber, which is heavy 3.
Yeah.
Strength 4, so 3s and 5s, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So 2, and then 5s. 1.
Can you roll with the HQ tag?
Passes.
Cool. Right, done. Old mate over there with the thermal. Thermal cannons, 36, heavy d6. So, yeah, so I'm shooting obviously all weapons at old mate again. So he's not, just double check, I don't think he's within 18, but 18's
Yeah.
the,
I hope he had 18, but
yeah.
yeah, out.
Okay, just out, okay. So, thermal cannon, heavy d6, 3 shots. It's blouse, but doesn't really affect it, does it?
Yeah.
Strength 9 as well,
Yep.
so
So
3s.
Or
hit.
hit and then 3
Or
Okay.
wound.
So I shall do 3 bounces from the drones.
Yep.
Okay, so 2 don't bounce, 1 does, see if the drone lives. Does live.
Yep. So 2 go
Okay.
through.
Yeah, 2 go through, so save now. Okay, save 1, I shall spend a CP.
Yep.
Okay, so that goes to
I'm
5.
down to 6 CP for the game.
Cool, if you want to put a dice up here or something like that. So this is to get CP back.
Yep.
Always first. I do not. Now watch this, I'm going to fail my armor save. Oh, no. Sweet, that would have been great if we went the other way around. So, yeah, hits the dice.
Cool. What's he got?
Chainsaw, heavy stubber.
Okay, so I'll do the Icarus. Missile pod,
So
heavy.
they're all Icarus, so that's the...
They're all Icarus. Cool. They're all the same, so it's just easy. Heavy D6 shots. 6. 3. 6.
Can you change pick one?
3.
You just went, yeah, that's fine. Just switch them around.
No.
And then 5.
5. 2.
Because that's the 18-inch marker.
Loves it.
Cool. And then
Okay.
done. Just augmented the back and we're done.
I mean,
So just
I thought you meant
yeah, just
to point like
uh,
you didn't
yeah.
realise.
You happy if I can see him through the?
Oh no, you can see
window?
him because he's sticking out.
Okay.
So how's that?
Yep.
That's good.
That's
Easy.
fine.
Yep. Cool. So Gatling cannon first. 12
I'm
shots.
still gonna drop the long one back.
1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12.
2 more subs.
3.
When I'm done my turns, we don't get to ignore.
Notice I only missed one there.
God damn it.
It's a pretty good one. Isn't it? Okay. So Gatling.
5.
5 is it? Yep.
Yes, yeah. There's no
Next 2, so 4. Fails both, so it takes 1 4, so he's in 5.
I like it.
Also, literally no benefit from benefit. Not at the moment, no. There are some missions that change the attack and defender dynamic.
And then the missile pods heavy D6. 1 again. 3s. Misses. So
Oh, that's free.
Now,
that's done. So yeah.
Okay.
Anything?
Yeah. Was that?
Breeze here. Is she grabbing some?
Yeah, she will be, which is in my car.
That's alright, keep going.
Cool, what I can do, I can give him the car keys.
That's alright, just set her up. We'll work from there.
Yeah, okay, so in my turn, the things I shall do at the start of the phase, I will do heal, I'll spend a CP, see if I get it back.
Yep.
Make him act normal. Do not. He goes
Also,
to
he's
4.
bracketed now as well.
Yeah, but he acts normal now.
Yep.
Actually, I go to 5 because it's command phase.
Yeah, so you get your +1 then. Yeah.
Yeah, so go to 4, go to 5.
Yep.
So he counts as normal, so he moves and that sort of stuff, no penalty for shooting and sort of stuff. Yeah, should I CP and not CP? No, I won't, which is fine. Okay, so.
All cut through the toughness 5 and block for 1.
Is he a character?
No, so both the Crusaders are characters. These two here, and they're just normal.
Right, cool.
1 goes through.
kill back.
So he can't Hurricane Vent, can he? You don't have
No, only the characters, and they didn't know it's only 3 inches as well.
Okay. So these drones here will go.
These are weapons, but
Way.
so 2 DP shots at the sides.
Hello.
Whoa, brought out the towel now. How's it going?
About to find out.
He went first. He killed most of my drones.
Well, you don't get me now 15 points each, or you're running gun drones. So
No, still drones for now, but yeah.
I'm thinking gun drones might be the way to go, because at least
Yeah.
they get to shoot as well.
I like this take.
Okay, so that's that. So that's
Ooh,
yeah, he took most of the hits. Which is doesn't bother me in that way. Okay, so the Yavara plan or attack will be.
You raise my body. You can't. Is that when you score a penalty?
Strength.
Is that when you score a penalty? Because some.
Yeah, that's what
It's one of the actions, it's something really good.
Is he a character as well? Well, just
It's just a big suit.
just a big suit. Okay.
Well, started Space Marine, are we?
Okay, so he takes a mortal wound. So he's supercharging his weapons. So high profile weapons.
They
Yeah.
now have CP to actually use
I know.
those stratagems.
I actually have to learn what a stratagem is.
Yeah, because they're just like stratagems.
Yeah, so it's like I only had 2 CPs.
I just go 2 up ballistic skill, 2 up save. I don't care
Yeah,
about
So,
stratagems.
I use these guys to show that the banners are on. I got a banner on that, and I got a banner on this one back here, and for every end of my command phase.
Why is
Score
it
an extra
wing
20.
things?
Cool. Depends on target. This, you get an extra receive hits. And any actions that need to be done,
With actual
some of the objectives, some of the things need to be done in the
Hopefully, we'll find out.
Well, they got some pretty cool stratagems.
Yeah.
It's like really good ones for all
Alright
sorts of
then,
situations.
so
So
my
I think
turn,
it's
isn't
really
it?
good.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
Do I declare I want to go take Iron Shields before you choose that target, or just
So just
whenever?
the-
It's when they're declared as a target of an attack.
So my commander can see that knight because he's never like through obscuring tree knights can't be seen, correct?
As long as they're more than 5 the terrain. Yeah, knights, anything that has 18 or more wounds can always be seen regardless of obscuring. However, obscuring doesn't mean you ignore line of sight.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is if your knight's behind a solid wall
Yeah.
and there is no physical line of sight, you don't get to shoot him.
So through the window I can.
Yes, you can.
Cool, happy. That's for like only for line of
That was actually part of the conversation we had yesterday because one of the guys here was arguing that you could have a completely blocked wall and the knight would still be targetable because he's always visible. And I said, well, that doesn't make any sense because you just ignore the obscuring rule. You don't necessarily ignore the line of sight. So
So let's make sure. So I'm going for Titan whilst we stand in domination. So I've got 1, 2, 3.
that's
You've
the
got
one.
3. So I need domination. If I remember correctly, is hold
They're going to raise
ball.
the map, I think.
Then you do.
It's easy enough to do. They're going to raise the
So how many drones did you lose turn 1, Marcus?
I lost
7 in total?
yeah, 7 out of 18.
Yeah.
To declare it now.
So the list you've got is basically a bunch of units conveying drones, and then and then the town are essentially.
So control more than control more than
So
I do control that. Control it.
I'm assuming the town R didn't take any wounds.
No, he just shot everything at this guy and he's down to 4.
Okay, so the Ivara's hurting.
But it's still injections.
They don't have anything where they like Overwatch on 5s or any shit like that.
Okay,
They can.
so movement is complete. So I'm controlling that, controlling this because of 2 drones. Yeah, controlling this. Happy with that?
As long as one model's on there, it's controlled.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So the trick is that he now has to, for him to get any points from it, because you can't score those in turn 1 because they're the primaries. He, for secondaries. Oh, okay, cool. When's domination scored? It's just worth checking to make sure with the secondaries because some of them are scored in the command phase, some of them are scored at the end of the phase. No, you were right. You were right. If you control more than half the total object numbers on the battlefield at the end of your turn. No. So primaries are scored at the start of each of your command. At the end of each of your command phases, but they're only scored from turn 2 onwards. The secondaries, which are the ones that you get to pick, are scored whenever they tell you to score them. Some of them are scored at end of turn, some of them are scored at end of game, some of them are scored at command phase. It just depends on the secondary you picked.
Okay, so in the shooting phase, he'll spend a CP to get this guy, I'll roll a dice, see if I get back.
All my objectives are kill except for
I do not, so I'm down to 4.
Yeah, most of the regens are 6s.
He gets rerolls to wound. I'll take 1 more CP, see if I get back. I do not. Yeah, so you get reroll 1s against him, so mark light on him. Okay, free mark light.
Probably the massive pain in the ass.
Does rotate work on that as well? You just get down to 3.
Sorry?
Does rotate Iron Shields work on...
Yes.
So you get down to 3.
Yeah. Oh, actually,
That's like a strap.
yeah, but there was at one point there was a limit where you couldn't get a 3-up invulnerable on. I don't think you can get it on the. No, but I
You can't do like it's 1 6 rotate Iron Shields, you can't beat 2 kids on half years.
No.
If I've got 4 plus invulnerable with passport 1,
I know that. I'm just going to check the latest FAQ to double check, but there was because people were using it to get a 3+ invulnerable on the Castellan, and I'm 90% sure. But is it still there in 9th? Is the question. So I'm just going to double check. It's going to take 2 seconds to double check.
Well, I'll declare all my So he's not following, bud?
It might be AC next to it, actually.
Okay.
So 3.
So he needs a
So rotate iron shields is to a maximum of 4+.
Yeah, I think it's like a regular auto cannon, but just
Okay, so I'll just
oh, no, sixes are sixes are something.
Okay, so that's
sixes
not
are
shot.
like AP neck 3.
Yep.
Sixes right now.
So that's one of the good things about today's games is that because everyone in the room knows each other because they are all patrons, we can have these conversations without there being any sort of upset or malice, just to make sure we are playing the rules correctly. And while rotate iron shields was FAQ'd for 8th, it was good to check to make sure it is still a thing in 9th. What was that, Marcus?
I rerolled the amount of shots.
Yep.
So I rolled a 1, and I rerolled it to a 1.
Oh, okay. I thought you were rolling multiple dice, and I wanted to point out that you now actually re-roll the entire amount of dice, not just one.
It's only the amount of shots to 1 dice.
Yes.
Okay, so then it's auto hits. So needing
Is this the Avara's Flamer? This is a brutal weapon, and it's Borkan as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is why he's got the extra range on it.
So that is 6. Oh, so it's a 7.
7 for
Yes.
So this is 3 damage as well, isn't it, Marcus? Because you supercharged it. Yep. Oh, it's not bad.
That's 9 damage.
So it's 9 damage from the Flamer.
The next weapon, so this is 3d3. So that is 6 shots.
Sorry. That's a pistol, man.
Winning on 4. I hit on 4.
Is that even? Does he degrade on ballistic skill, Marcus, or is he?
He's plus to normal.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
That's in Mississippi, so that's hits. Now this is 3 for the wounds. So it's strength. That one's there. So that's 4. Yep. 4 Thumos.
No.
Okay, so that's another 6 damage.
Another 6, I'm down to 10.
Okay. This guy here, he will supercharge his cannons. Okay, what he's going to do, so he's going to do all his small weapons through devastation from this guy into him, so you can see. Any rolls of 6s to wound, there's an extra 8 1. So he's going to do his big gun into him. This cannon here into him. This cannon into him. Oh, small guns into him. So that's that, and that's that. Right. That's that.
If I'm rolling something and you go home and check it afterwards, tell me.
You mind if I take a picture? Is that alright?
Anyway, so before I forget these guys here, we'll shoot here. Okay. Before I forget this can, why not?
So the Knights obviously survived the ion assault.
It was down to 10.
Okay.
So needing 5.
Is this burst cannons now, Marcus?
Yeah, just 1.
Just one.
3 up.
So,
Don't you have ATSs on them, Marcus?
no, shields.
1 damage?
I thought your army list had ATSs written down.
No, it's shields.
Oh, okay.
They're just objective holders.
That's what I assumed, but when I saw the ATS, I went, oh, that's interesting.
Let's just say shield.
It had shield and ATS, which is why I was... I'm going to jump on and have another quick look, but I'm sure that's what I saw, because I just copied it over.
Your Lara has ATS and shield.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
Reactive cannon measures on that one?
Nah, just shield and shield
Eight.
and I need him.
Okay.
See, that's it. Yeah, so that's done. Okay, so he's pushing there. So he's down to 9, correct?
He's got 9 remaining. Yeah. So that's the is that the Warden?
No, that one there. That's
The Errant?
Yeah, that's the Errant.
That's the Errant. No, he's in his first degraded profile.
Yeah, so big gun here.
So this is the town are now starting to fire. So there's a lot of weapons to allocate. So this is the pulse. This is the multi-ordnance driver.
Yeah, cool.
And then you got the 2 tri-axis cannons. Where are they going?
Right there and there.
Everything's going to Warlock pretty much.
Sounds like a good idea. Warlock, nice and easy.
Well, one of the good things these days is unless you've got I think it's called cut off the head. Warlords aren't a factor anymore. So you can actually be a bit more.
Oh, so there is no Slay the Warlock.
No, in the GT book 2020, it's completely new secondaries, and Slay the Warlord is not one of them.
Chance to read it, yeah.
No,
I know there's got like missions in it, which I'm excited for.
There's no one.
The secondaries, it's kind of like ITC missions.
Yes and no. If you've seen the ones in the rulebook, they're basically the same. There's a few that they've taken out and a few they've added in, but by and large, I think they added 3 in total and dropped 2.
Then they take out kill more and then go hold more.
So the primary missions, for those of you who haven't played the game at home, because we are streaming, the primary missions are always hold at least one objective, hold at least 2 objectives, and hold more objectives than the enemy. So it's possible for you to hold 1 and your opponent hold none and still get the hold more. And you can get hold 1 and hold 2, but not hold more if your opponent still holds 2. So to actually get the full 15 points out of primary over 4, you need to do it 45 point maximum. So you want to make sure you're getting at least 2 of those every turn. Whether that's hold 1, hold more, or whether it's hold 1, hold 2, that'll get you at least 10 points a turn.
So you can't get more than 45s.
No, 45's on. Yep, 45's the maximum. So there is a valid strategy there of saying for turns 2, 3, and 4, that's what I'm aiming to do, because you can't score the primary in turn 1. So because that check to see whether you're controlling objectives is done at the start, at the end of each of your command phases.
That means you can't score in 5 either.
Well, no, because as you walk into turn 5, at the start of turn 5, you'll check what you achieved in turn 4. So you will technically score it in turn 5, but you have to set it up so that you score it in turn 5. No. So your primaries really have to be on point. You have to finish your first movement phase knowing that you're going to score points at the start of 2.
That really feels like you want to go second now.
Well, I do think that if you're going first, you have a better opportunity for the secondaries. But I think if you're going second, you get an opportunity for the primaries. It is. I think with the right amount of terrain, and which is kind of one of the things we're testing today, because we have got quite a bit of terrain on the boards. And they're all roughly even today, which is good. It's going to be interesting to see the win-loss record for who went first and all that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah. So how are you working the terrain rules on this? Do you have a sheet for each table?
So, the book has a lot of the presets for the traits for the terrain, which is easy. So all of the boards have ruins. Most of them then either have at least one crater, or some of them have barricades, and some of them have Promethean pipelines. There's a couple of statues on the table, and they're all straight out of the rulebook. So we're trying to stick to the rulebook today, just to see what the fallout is. There's no point in trying to tweak something that I've got a data for. So we're trying to play it as close to rulebook as we possibly can, and if there's something that I have to interpret, then I'll take that information and pass it on to the people I can and see if I can get an official answer. But yeah, it's we spent the morning when we got here shuffling some of the terrain around to try and add bits and take bits off other ones to try and, I suppose, level the playing field a little bit and try and make the tables a bit more even. If you look at the layouts, they're all roughly similar, and this is probably what we're going to do going forward. Is they won't be identical, but they will be similar, so that the goal is to try and make sure that when you come to a tournament, you do get a variation each game without feeling like you get hosed when you pick the table. And now that we've got some reasonably tight rules in terms of how terrain and line of sight work, we can start making those calls. So the town. So what's this? What gun's that, Marcus? The pulse driver. Oh, it's a macro, isn't it? Yep. So that's base 4 damage per hit, doubled to 8, correct? Because it's macro. Yep. Nasty pulse drivers. I think you're the only person in the room who cares about macro, though. So.
That's actually a smart idea doing on pad, so even if the dice get knocked over, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So we've actually got a here, Bree. You can have a look at this while we're here. We actually did up a little cheat sheet for you, for players. So the goal there is to let you note down what happens, what you need to remember each turn. One of the things I've noticed is a lot of armies have had abilities move to the command phase, and it's going to be really easy for you to forget abilities because they happen at a different time now. Things like My Will Be Done for the Necrons happens in the command phase, not in the movement phase.
So where does that say that?
So a lot of the FAQs have started adjusting those now. So I think having a note that you can go, when does what happen? What have I got in strategic reserves? What do I need to remember to deploy? Particularly while you kind of get into the feel of the game, these sorts of cheat sheets become quite helpful. So, yeah.
Primaris go and drop pods?
No, Primaris cannot go in drop pods.
Because I'm literally pretty much started to Primaris army now.
Did you see the new Primaris vehicles overnight?
Yes.
The Gladiator, I think they called it, which is a predator but grav. Yeah.
There's a Primaris
The Primaris. It almost strikes me as a Razorback in some regards. Like it's that aesthetic, but it's clearly meant to replace the Predator, not the Razorback.
I think eventually all the Space Marines, like, original ones will stick.
Yeah. Well, there's actually quite a few things in the Chapter Approved book that are gone now with the Legend. Yeah, so the Chaplain Dreadnought's now gone. The Doomglaive disappeared. There's a few units that have no points values anymore, and there's also some that do, that have no models. If you watched the preview last night, there was an Orc. Did you see the Orc that they had in the preview video? Yeah, I reckon he's the new Big Mech. Because there is a Big Mech with a shock attack gun for points in the Psychic Awakening book, and then he's got points in the Chapter Approved book. And there's no model for him. So I reckon he's the Big Mech. What did you just do?
He blew up.
Oh no. He blew up.
Roll against him, roll a 6. Roll against him, roll a 6.
How did the drones live?
He only rolled 2 more points.
So what exploded?
Oh no.
And he just did 18 more wounds.
Oh. Look, if it's the first time you've ever used him, that's expected because I was going to say it's new model syndrome. That's what happens. Did he not explode?
No, he only rolled a 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yep, that's new model syndrome for you. They always die turn 1. Doesn't matter what it is or how well it's painted, they're dead turn 1.
There's 2 things I actually want to play around with as ideas. Is Pentatide list, so 2 Yavaris, 3 Riptides, all Tau set with reactive countermeasures, except for the Yavaris go ATS and stuff.
Yeah. I think what was interesting with the Chapter Approved book is they clarified that if you take a Demon Prince, you can't do... Do you remember prior to the last Chapter Approved, you could take 3 Princes of Nurgle from the Death Guard book, 3 from the Thousand Suns book, and so on? You could end up with like 12 Demon Princes. Well, no, but you know what I mean. Like, you take 9 Demon Princes pretty comfortably. Now they've clarified that all of those count as Demon Prince. And they've also done it so that if you take Lehman Russes from the Guard army in a Genestealer Occult army, they all count as... Like, you can't take 3 Lehman Russes from the Genestealer Occult list and 3 Lehman Russes from the... No, they've been left separate as far as I can see.
So you can still take 12.
Yeah, well, you still take 3 squadrons of 3 and then can still take 3 HQs.
Because that's actually my Guard army.
But it's interesting that...
Shooting combat
Well, it's just interesting they're starting to amalgamate those, and on the stream last night I saw that now a Space Marine army is going to be limited to 1 captain and 2 lieutenants per detachment. Yeah. So that's going to be an interesting one.
And then I've got obviously the bring it down. I can obviously still.
Yeah, you're more like
a
kill
couple
that.
points for them, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So start turtle there again. 1 wound each.
Yeah, so one wound each, and you get a CP. So you go 5, go to 6.
So Crusader goes up to back to 19, and Warden goes back up to, so they're both on 19.
Okay, so for primaries, you control 2. So primaries, you should get 10 for that. So we should go primaries for turn 2. Yeah, that was just brutal first turn for me. That was just wild.
That was awesome, mate.
Table's got a hell of a level going.
Yeah.
So that's okay. So that's done.
I thought they did as well.
Dun, dun. Okay, so I can't use any strats. So okay, so movement phase. They're still in the top bracket. They're still in the top bracket. As well, right? So,
He's got all the objectives on here with this on them, and I've gone. Did you realise that actually peels off? And he's gone no. So yeah.
The important thing is,
The important thing is you did bring objectives, so I'll give you points.
I've got 2 lots of objectives, and that's like 10.
okay, so I'm just gonna just 12 inches up to here.
Yep.
That's also true. That's depressing. Yeah.
I need to get him into combat.
Don't forget, I get to Overwatch.
If I charge, I want him in combat. So
2 ones.
you got one there, then there. It's just those 2 drones left.
On that one, yeah.
I don't know which
Hey
one it
Marcus,
is.
when you get a chance, I'll grab that.
Alright, so
What I'll do, I'll
I'll
move.
give, that's right, what I'm going to do,
Yep.
I'll get you to build the stuff up for me, it'll be easier.
Yep.
So they're in 2 boxes of Dominus, so then whatever else is going to go out the fifth. My car's been mounted down there. Yeah, it's in the back, on the back, yeah, in the back there's 2 boxes, just bring them up, and then I'll give you your set.
It's a cool looking. I like
No worries, thank you.
Can you please move in his 12 onto the whatever 12 is, like it's yeah, round about there. Right? Anyway.
Where the intercom is, there's a swipe panel.
So when challenging objective, does it go by the mob count or? Okay.
So you can either,
Please make sure he's not within 1, just so he's outside.
oh yeah, no, you're out, yeah.
So got 15 for the crown.
No, you can't come in with an inch of my little drone.
Just bump back.
You can walk over it now, but...
Oh, yeah, I know. Right, okay. So movement's done. Shooting. I'm not gonna put it down. I'm gonna just shoot. Okay. What's he down to? 4 wins.
Yeah.
What's the guns that these guys have?
So okay.
Pistols.
And there's no drones left for these guys.
Nope.
Okay.
What's that? 2 shots each.
Okay, so this guy is going to put his missiles into these guys and the Gatling cannon. Oh, sorry, missiles and stubber into them.
Yep.
Gatling cannon into
Him.
the big boy.
He'll probably die, yep.
Maybe. Okay, so we'll do Gatling cannon into the big guy first, which is so it's just normal Gatling cannon, 12 shots. 2,
Yeah.
4, 6, 8, 10, 12. He's not bracketed, so it's just freezing.
Alright, let's stop you from having balance.
Yep.
Cool.
And then
Alright, and then 5.
Shootings for space rooms? 1 each.
1, 2.
2. Oh, that's the exact amount you need.
What's he need?
Pass. He lives.
Okay. Alright,
Still do it.
so the
Cost you 6 CP to do it.
D6 into them.
Good luck with that.
1 again.
Man, you didn't load your missile pods.
Well, they're facing the wrong one, aren't they?
Yeah. Callous wound.
Oh, so that's the hit.
Oh, sorry, my
3
bad.
hit,
Yeah,
and
sorry.
then just to wound 3s again, to wound.
Oh, you can shrink 5 out. Yeah, so yeah.
4.
It's also me.
Loves it.
All good. And then heavy stubbers, D3
So guys,
shot.
who's shrinks this one?
It's all photos.
Heavy 3.
And you.
And then just the heavy stubber into those boys, 3s. And then strength 4 tough, so 4s again.
Yes.
No, nothing. So that's that one done.
And I'm a terrible painter.
And then
I am. Because I rush through them like crazy.
I'll declare, I'll try and finish. I'll do.
Yes.
Oh wow, you've killed 2 notes.
If that's your goal.
What turn is it?
You did it. Or he killed my warthog, which blew up, which killed the knight there, and it put 6 wounds on each of these 2.
The shield.
It blew up in my boom.
Sweet.
Sweet, okay.
Does anyone have clippers? Because the Necron and the Space Marine bits are...
No, no, no.
Yeah.
It's all separate. So that's 2 boxes. They're all separated. The Necron side and
Three
Spectrum.
months later.
So yeah, where are those boxes?
Oh, just
Okay, so you're 1 sec. I'll be back.
Yeah, you can, I'll just.
So then you forward.
What turn are you on?
I've got 3 really.
Start second turn.
I'd much prefer that.
Yeah.
Did that thing just fuck everything up?
Yeah, I've killed all his drones first turn. I put he's down to 4 wounds, and he pretty much shot kind of split between those 2. He was down to 1 wound, on the down to 5 wounds, blew him up. Yeah, and then obviously it's kind of it's a beast, eh?
So at the end of my...
But the thing is, the macro, so it's double damage. It's pretty much the one shot for the Titan. So.
This is the first one.
I'm just trying to work out what you know when we're down. I mean, all three of them.
You try and come up and punch it.
Well, at least I can try and engage it and
Small board is what?
give it a go.
Look, you know what? It's a trial by 5. It is.
I was wondering whether I sort of walk
At least I can step it up against one.
Oh, look, I think the Knights are always going to have fun when there's better accounts on the table, but I think this represents an unusual scenario because most games you won't have macro on the table. And I think Marcus has done the right thing where he's gone, you know what, it's about learning, it's about being a bit silly today and having some fun. Now is the game to do it, rather than bringing it to a quote-unquote competitive tournament.
I think if we were playing short side to short side, I would have tried to get
It's
it
called
a little bit
plastic
quicker
crack.
to try and engage
Yeah,
it.
that's
Yeah,
good.
hammer and anvil. Yeah, it's a bit of a slug up the board, but okay.
Yeah, so we
So
go.
we're good to go?
Yeah, you saw that.
I'm just going to try and I'll put both big guns into him and then this stubber and a missile pod into.
Then neg one to hit.
That's fine. I'll just try and put the rest. So 2 small guns them, 2 big ones him.
Yep.
So battle cannon 2d6,
Yeah, 3D trophy.
6, 7.
Yep, happy with that. Would have been better two ones. But
7. So he's just the.
so hitting on threes. I'm winning on threes.
Well, one thing is, again,
Winning on threes.
That's true.
3.
Great.
So just one miss. So 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so he fails one so far.
Yep.
And he's still got the big gun there, is that correct?
Yeah.
So fails one, so it goes through. So how much D3 damage? So 1. He's on 3.
Yeah.
Such a cool
Alright. Gatling.
I
2,
really want them to work.
4,
The
6,
Simmons that they will work.
8, 10, 12. These knights have 12 dice. You pretty much said 3.
Two shots, strength 6, make
nope.
2 damage flat. Any 6s are additional hits, so I don't have to worry about that because I have 6s.
There's another one there.
It's a miss as well.
He's going to shoot.
So
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and you're at 5.
One,
Me
two,
rolling,
three.
Okay, so failed one. I'll spin the CP, see if I get it back.
Double shots.
I do not.
There's another one.
Now see if I pass. I do not.
Let's say I would have.
So he's down to what?
Unmodified or modified? Yeah. So there's
that's alright.
Okay, he says to 3.
Yep.
Small guns.
And then
6
Heavy
ones.
5.
so Icarus D6 shots. Those boys 5. Thank you.
Oh man!
Nice for a change skin. 1.
So hitting on 4s.
I get -1 4. Miss 4 hit.
Yep, needing 3s.
Well, 1 miss 3 go through.
3 go through, so neg 1 up, correct?
Yeah, neg 1, 2 damage.
Yep, so neg 1, okay. So pass all, 4 of info.
Nice. That's
So
good.
everything around me has info.
I think Stubber should be in range, wouldn't it?
Yeah, easy,
36, so
36.
3. 4 to hit. 2.
Yep. And then
Strength 4 to
toughness 4, so
Fours?
4.
1.
1. So straight up. Loves it.
And then next
Shooting
one.
done. Is everything done?
Cool.
Charge on. Obviously him into them.
Yep, cool.
Him into big boy.
Yeah, okay. I have to spend a CP for it.
I'm still thinking there's a possibility that Odd could be good if the meta
I do not get it back.
killing the
Okay, so within 6 inches everyone, so this guy here will shoot first. So 2d6 shots. So that's 5 shots. Okay, so needing 6s.
Do you Overwatch on 5s?
No, that's Tower step. 6s, so 2 hits.
Yep.
Needing 5s, so nothing. Okay, so these guys here. So the stealth suits within 6 inches.
Even if they can't see.
1 can.
Or 1? Okay, alright.
Units of neophytes.
Nothing.
And you just walk them on from the board.
Alright.
Now the big boy.
Quick and easy. This one first, big guns. Come on. Whoa, 3!
Oh no.
Darting lasers.
Just a boom.
3 to the wound.
Just walk on and go.
Okay,
Biggest problem I ever had
I
with Hordes
do
is
I?
that you start boosting it.
Yeah, I will spend a CP.
5 turns, so there's only so much I
See if I get back.
I
do not.
That doesn't matter as long as at the end of turn 4.
Yep. Okay, 5 up inverse.
2 or 3?
That's the most important. And actually,
Come on.
another thing would be really good.
None. All 3 go
Yep,
through.
so that's 8
Three groups
and 3 have to go through to kill him.
6-man squad.
See if it explodes?
Yes.
Probably will.
Come on. Nah, 3.
Cool, he's successfully in anyway. Do you want to tap, or you can move around so you can hold the objective more if you want?
Yeah, I was just gonna. Yeah, I'll just rotate so it's kind of based on.
On that, holding it more.
Happy with that?
Cool. And then stop.
I'm gonna use Titanic defeat, obviously. 4 to, I think I've got 4 base. I think, or that
Should
way.
be a 4 base. It should be 15 and 12 taps. Should be, isn't it?
For what times I thought I took? Yeah, 12 tax.
Yeah.
4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry,
I've got 3 more skulls. I have a talent.
so Crusader, dead. Okay, so I'm still top bracket.
And you're playing aggressive, you're making tap steps, the routes, the counter measures.
The other thing that I should point out.
3 plus 3 hit.
Resources that we've seen on the 3 plus anything they're taking more
And then 2's the wound.
one mass.
Oh.
So storm shields.
So what's going to happen to the...
So 5?
You just have them.
Okay, so
Then
5.
that won't be so
4
bad.
combos.
Because 3
Cannot
plus
pass many.
they're pretty much
Okay, so that's the first one. The first one.
Just D6.
Oh, D3. So 1, feel no pain. He dies.
Yep.
So the next one.
Yeah.
So I can see them
D3.
leaving it for special characters.
So for 3,
and
he can
for
live.
unique situations.
Yeah.
He does not. Alright, you get that
The fact that you
objective.
storm shield on the stream last night.
And all I'm going to do is just,
Yep, cool.
and that's now it's your turn.
So my turn, I get 15.
Yep.
But it's not one
Cool,
of
well,
it's 2 up
stand.
rather than 1 up.
Yeah, so -1,
Yeah, basically.
-2, they go 3 up, -3, then 4
Step
up.
back to the
vulnerable
shields anyway,
units,
yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
But I think that change will actually be really interesting
Sorry, I
for
was just
games
checking
as well,
the
because
That's
you're not
alright.
going to be able to have those meme lists of people throughout the model not caring about AP.
Well, another thing which I'm playing around with is I've got 2 that's my problem. Is Death Guard with 20 block and like Lamb Raiders and either 20-man block with some PVCs or go PVCs, Lamb Raiders, close combat.
These guys will advance,
Terminators,
these little guys.
Close combat Terminators.
They're in 10,
Just go
they
like wall
can go
of
to
T8.
there, happy with that.
Just go T8, kill those man, kill
That's
those.
actually a really powerful
Sucking phase.
because it ignores, like, it minimises damage so much.
Well, the thing is that the whole game's about durability.
Tim, when you're terrified,
So it's,
So you would have got 1 back as well, so yeah, that's 2.
yeah, sweet. Yep, so I spend a CP, make him back normal.
Yep. No good? Good.
actually, I don't think it's...
I'm back down to 1.
Is he normal now?
Yeah, he acts normal.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, actually, I'm happy with that. Because you're only going to be in 14, which is okay, he will die, then I win the game. Drones will come down.
So that cost me 2 seconds to bounce.
So, is it attrition, which is battle round? I won't be able to get that anyway. Cool.
This guy,
These drones will come down.
I don't think
they get some equal track anyway, so that's not it's literally, it's only in the building, which I'm probably not going to use anyway.
So you're going to string them out?
Yep, it's the 5-man squads.
You all right with that?
They should be within. They should be able to do that.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's good.
Cool, just in case. Okay, so shooting phase, spend that. See if I get back. I do not. So that's all my CPs for now. Okay, so he's rerolls the wounds. Okay, so against him, they've advanced. So he'll flame first. Yeah, he'll flame first. I did. Otherwise, I'd kill him, so I didn't overcharge for a reason. Because I didn't want to move. Okay, so 5.
I'm going to spend the CP on rotate if that's alright.
Yep, cool. So if I go back, I do. Sweet, I got CP.
Rolling to hit, rolling to wound.
Alright, so 5 flames. Okay, so that's 3 go 3.
3, 4 plus?
Yeah.
When something is multiple,
No, so that's 9 damage.
He's down to 10.
Down to 10. Okay, where is my information?
shots from a weapon that's like 3 to 6.
Okay, Yavara, so the different version is heavy 3. So heavy 3.
4 attacks.
So it's not.
Okay,
it's not
so
like
2 hits.
rerolling all your misses.
I'll spend this 1 CP, I've already got it, to put a mark light on him.
No,
just reroll one. Yep, so now strength 8, so you need 4s. Okay, so that's D, so that goes through, but it also does D3 mortal wounds.
Yep.
So any rolls for 6s, so D3 mortal wounds will be 1
Just
mortal
one, so
wound.
down to 9.
Yep, and then your invo.
How many invo? Just one?
Just one.
1 4 plus.
Loves it. Okay, so that's his shooting done, there's the advances. So pretty much everything from him goes to him. So first big gun,
Charge, roll.
all hits.
All of them, oh no.
Then rolls the wound.
Oh no.
Okay, so that's 5.
4 plus?
Yeah.
Miracle roll. Only failed 2.
So that's 16 damage to dead.
Yeah.
See if he explodes. See if he explodes. He doesn't.
Well done. That was awesome.
Cool.
Well done.
He's table.
Okay, so at tabling now has specific rules in the book.
Yeah.
I will show you where tabling is in the book.
I'll just charge the captain then.
Yep. There you go.
Sadly, and I'm sorry to say that. Alright. You gotta learn.
You had me worried because
You just keep playing on, don't you? Pretty much.
sort of.
Ending the battle early.
I have faith.
Oh, there's in the other.
Exactly.
Which one did you go?
10 million lives later.
Psychic ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 is exactly the
These can actually
Don't worry, if I roll 5
What am I shooting at?
That's conceded. There is actually a table one, maybe it's in the main rulebook. Basically, it just means that Marcus gets to finish playing his turns out to score primaries and whatnot. You get whatever score you have, and then. So when did that take place?
Okay, this is the end of turn 2.
So So basically, what happens is, so you've done everything for your turn 2.
Yeah.
Gareth's turn 3. Nothing happens. Your turn 4.
Just to double check, so you did kill the drones.
Yep.
I killed 2 knights.
So let's draw again.
So it's important to, so you still get your command phase because you still have to, if you've got anything that has to happen because of those kills or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's why I just made sure because he if he did explode and killed those guys, he would have killed.
Yeah, it can affect secondaries, that sort of stuff. So in Gareth's turn 3, nothing happens. In your turn 3,
I achieved all my points.
well, no, you still got to work out, as long as you've got hold to it, and you're obviously holding more, then you're going to get the 15 points for that one. Any secondaries that you can score through line break or table quarters.
Domination.
So do you have to move to complete any of your secondaries?
I hold them all.
Okay, so mark them down. And then your turn 4. His turn 4. Do it again. 5-5. You cap it out at 45.
Yeah, so you pretty much feel 45 then for your primary.
So it's important to work it out turn by turn, so that you can keep track, and it's also good for me because it gives me data so I can work out what happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
So
we'll give you a nice round too.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just everything else is fine. It's just it's just
so Titan was 15 at round 2.
yeah.
Like it's end of battle game, so technically it's end of battle. But yeah.
Well, you put it in turn 5 then if you've got Titan Slayers.
Okay, so whilst we stand, that's 15 because he did live just.
One wound left. Nice killer.
So domination is.
Sorry, you don't want overcharge?
I thought you were watching the other Wolverine.
Actually, old mate died to Overwatch on the charging, didn't he?
Yeah, because for
So
the
with your primary there, Marcus,
yep.
you only get 45.
Oh yeah, so
So you cross out your turn 5.
and put 45.
Down the bottom.
So just cross that one out. Leave it at 15,
Oh,
15,
yeah.
15, 15.
Because you can only, you can only score 45.
And then 45 at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then obviously for Gareth, you still have to score him whatever he did manage.
Yeah, so he got 10 for holding. He had this
Yep, in
objective
turn 1.
and that objective.
Did he hold any in turn 2?
No.
No, because it was contested, wasn't it?
Yeah, contested.
Ah, okay.
So that was his turn 2. He only had 2 turns. That's why the drones there contested, but he had this.
No, I didn't have, turn 1 I had it, but turn 2, both my knights were...
You had that one?
I won there, yeah.
I gave you that one. That was contested.
I had this one, and then...
I gave you that one because I forgot about the second one. Oh well, I'll give you that. The one that you can't see, you can't
I was just wondering whether Knights had a rule or Titanic had a rule that they counted as 4 models, but no, as far as I can see.
That's where that's yeah. Yeah, so I had that's why because my second turn, my first turn, I moved the drones just to here.
Yeah.
So that's only 5. But I can give you Titanic.
So did he get any of his secondaries?
He
All
got
my secondaries were, grind them down,
Yep.
and engage on off fronts, which he pretty much put me off the board second turns. I was stood in lights half, and then bring it down. I didn't bring down the model,
So you grind them down, you didn't get anything for?
no, I evened him each turn. First turn he killed 2 squads of drones. My first turn, because he blew up, he took out his own knight. Otherwise he would have got the 3
I was 2 units.